1, 2, 1, 2. It's autumn here in the woodland, and as the trees split the ash-grey light into ribbons, I'm on the hunt for a rather unassuming medicinal mushroom. So this beautiful shelf-like bracket fungus with its concentric rings and almost rock-hard geological texture is the artist's conch or the artist's bracket. Its Latin name is Ganoderma applanatum, and being a Ganoderma, it is a cousin of the medicinal Reishi mushroom. You'll find this fungus with its knobbled rust-brown cap growing on many different broadleaf trees here in the UK. It has a white sponge-like network of pores underneath which can billow out around the edges like marshmallow. The mushroom gets its name because artists used to use the colour-changing characteristics of its pores to draw on. Pretty cool. Now, the reishi mushroom is used throughout the world as a medicinal mushroom to treat lots of different illnesses and complaints, but within this is contained some of the same compounds which make reishi an effective medicine. Now, if you remember last week when we took a look at the birch polypore mushroom, I was talking about the anti-cancer and anti-inflammatory properties that bracket fungus has, and this has a very similar set of skills. So within this mushroom is contained something called triterpenes. Now, triterpenes are a group of chemicals which, when used pharmacologically, can reduce inflammation in the body and can also target cancer cells. So this is an excellent anti-inflammatory. Now, one of the most interesting things that I read when reading about reishi mushrooms and Ganodermas as a whole was that they used to be prescribed in China to stop the academic brain from consuming itself. And I felt a little bit seen, to be honest. But if we think about brains as a whole, lots of the sort of mental health issues and stuff that we see within the world today can be traced back to inflammation within the brain. Now, we know that reducing inflammation can improve things like anxiety, depression, all of those sort of things that seem to be an epidemic at the moment. Especially here in the Western world, lots of conditions like that can be exacerbated by residual inflammation in the body. So taking something which is going to reduce that inflammation gives your brain a fighting chance of being able to sort of heal itself and deal with some of those stress chemicals and things which can flood our systems, you know, like cortisol and all of those sort of things which trigger fight or flight responses in human beings. So this is a good mushroom from that respect. I wouldn't necessarily class this as an edible mushroom purely because of how tough it is. I don't know if you can hear that. It is rock solid. It is like an extension of the tree. It's like a wooden shelf. You could put things on top of there. However, there are a few culinary uses that you could do in order to get it into your diet. So I've heard people powdering it, so drying it and then powdering it and adding it to things like brownie mixes and stuff. Jim from Forage Box says that he can use this as a sort of substitute for cocoa in lots of things. Now, if you notice underneath the mushroom, there is all of this sort of, I don't know, brown rusty coloured dust. Whew. And that is the spores of the mushroom itself. Now, when you find this on a tree or a tree stump, you will often find like a dusting, a sprinkling of brown spores underneath it. It does sort of like flood the area with them. Now, these spores are actually edible. So you could technically harvest them by putting something underneath the mushroom, letting the mushroom then drop its spores onto it and harvesting them that way. I want to like dust that on top of some ice cream, something like that. That'd be pretty cool. But when you taste it, it is bitter. It is woody, but it almost has that sort of dark chocolate bitterness, you know, that hits the tongue in that beautiful way and makes you salivate. So I think with the right amount of sweetening, that could have a culinary application. If you try that out, let me know how you get on. But you can also take the entire bracket, you can steep it in liqueurs, in vinegars, you can dehydrate it, like I said, and powder it, which is probably the best way to introduce it to your diet. I'm pretty sure lots of the mixes that you see out there for mushroom coffee have reishi in. Why not not use reishi that might be grown on the other side of the planet and then imported into the West? Why not go out and harvest yourself a Ganoderma and enjoy the beautiful woodland whilst you're doing it, because that's medicine in itself. So yes, it is a fascinating mushroom. They make such fantastic noises. I think we should probably go around sampling all of the noises of different shelf fungi and then make like a percussion orchestra out of them. Mushroom music. Fun. So there we go. I hope you enjoyed that video. There is medicine absolutely everywhere. For more information on medicinal mushrooms and wild edible food, check out the description below and all the resources that are in it. If you have any questions at all, put them in the comments below, or you can find me over on Instagram at fieldstudy_. My name is Joseph, and until next week, take care.